Down we have the Democratic view, John Garamendi, the Democrat from also the fine state of California, just another site on the Armed Services Committee. Congressman, what do you make of this? As you just heard from the Congressman, he will support this. It's not exactly his cup of tea, but he will support it. What about you?
I don't know. We had a couple of things that we were very, very concerned about. We wanted balance. That is, we felt that there's no way to really reduce this deficit with cuts alone. You had to have revenue side on it, and there are places we needed to go to revenue. The things we talked about with the oil company getting all of this extra money. The high end, some of those folks on Wall Street that are pulling down $1 billion, paying 15%. Those things we think are very, very necessary. They're not yet in this package. They might be in that work of that special committee. The other thing that we were very concerned about
well,
were
actually,
cuts
they won't be. From what we hear, but to be clear, Congressman, and you might be more on this than I'll ever be, but we're hurting in the broad parameters of the deal that no, there is no tax hike trigger, there is no revenue trigger, there is none of this to address the so-called millionaires on Wall Street or the subsidies for corporations. So the reason why I'm pushing the point, Congressman, is if it stays as is, a yay or a nay from you?
Well, three other things. The Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid. These are terribly important to me and to other Democrats. How are they dealt with in the trigger? We don't know. Those are the details that are extremely important. When I was talking about those revenue tax issues, those would be the work of the committee. I understand that they are not in the triggers. But these are really, really important questions that we're going to have to deal with. We do know, and I really agree with Mr. Campbell here when he pointed out that the interest rates on American bonds have not moved much at all, if at all, which indicates that the bond traders are looking at this a little different than just the rating agencies might look at it. Nevertheless, let's understand that this entire crisis was manufactured by the Republicans to force into the public policy their view of how America needs to go forward. It's not a balanced view.
How is this? Well, to be fair, though, Congressman, think about that.
Sure.
If it was your party that didn't produce a budget for better than 800 days, then would you at least acknowledge that both sides manufactured this?
No, I would not. We know that the debt limit had been moved for 74 times over the last 40 years without a quid pro quo, which is what the Republicans have done here. They've said, we will not vote for this unless you do thus and so. And so they manufactured it. That's not to say we shouldn't deal with the deficit.
But if they're playing games with this time around,
it's not a game. This is really serious.
Then what did you? I realize that, and it wasn't 5 years ago when every leading Democrat voted against raising the debt ceiling then, including one Senator Barack Obama. That wasn't a game, and this is?
No, you missed my point here. Over the period of time, there's always been, I'm going to vote, I'm not going to vote for the debt limit.
Right.
That's always been the case, but it always moved forward without, there will be no debt limit increase until you do these things. And one of the things that was said not a few moments ago by the senator from Utah was the demand that there be a constitutional amendment voted on and passed both houses before the Republicans in the House would vote for a debt limit increase. That's what I'm talking about. They manufactured this crisis. That's not to say we don't have to deal with the deficit. We have to deal with that, and there's a balanced way of doing it. The president's laid it out.
Right, but I will say this, and you're a very honorable and decent man, but the fact of the matter, I have seen and covered many a debt ceiling battle in the past that both parties play games. I will say that. But your point is
no doubt about that.
All right. So
no doubt about the games.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.